Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. As you know, at this channel, we are pro police, we are anti criminal, anti terrorist, irrespective of one's race, color, creed, religion, or whoever they believe in. We here know that wrong is wrong and right is right. We don't make excuse for criminals, whether baby or grandpa or great grandpa. If you break the law, there are consequences. We were taught that never to take what is not ours. We were taught to respect the police, and we were taught not to assault another person and deprive them of their human rights. So I want you and my loyal subscribers. This is a follow-up from the first video that I did of this officer who was indicted for murder. And I am a avid supporter of Dr. Reed Raichi, the guy on YouTube that always done his video. And I have, you know, when I saw the initial video that came out that this police officer was indicted for murder, I remember a few years ago, when the shooting happened, it was something totally different was reported by the media then, and then Dr. Raichi came out with something else. And when I listened to it, I was seeing that he's very very dishonest because the photo that he put up of the the um, the attacker was like a baby, a young boy. He didn't put up this, man, and they haven't spoken about his criminal records. So I wanted to listen where it's at now with this indictment of this good police officer who possibly have saved lives from drive-by shooting. Because you have to understand that these black boys in the black communities, what they do now, they venture outside of the communities, go somewhere like affluent area or middle class, and they will steal a vehicle that looks like a police vehicle to go and commit drive-by shooting and kills people. And you see it all the time. You can just search on YouTube and you will see how many drive-by shootings that the black men, young men, have used to commit murders in the United States of America in the black communities. So I wanted to listen to what this reporter is saying, conversing with the policeman's lawyer, and then after that, I'm going to let you listen to one of the most influential and one of the best person who should be the voice of the black community. But you have to understand that any black person who is a positive behavior of the black people, you know that they're going to come and try and destroy them because that's how it is. They just want the black people to self-destruct, tell them that let them commit crime and blame the police and everything and don't take responsibility for what they are doing. So that's what happened. So you watch, you listen, you decide.
His attorney, Jackie Patterson, said Simons shot in self-defense when he encountered 18-year-old Deidre Griffin that day 3 years ago. The GBI says Simons was gassing up his unmarked police vehicle at Whitehall and McDaniel. It says Griffin jumped in the unit and began to drive away. Simons fired in the car, killing Griffin. The family's attorney says the shots were excessive.
This was a young man suspected of a property crime. He was unarmed and he was shot in the back.
Patterson says.
So you hear that excuse now for the deceased man that he was unarmed. But the prosecutor is not telling the media and the people of Atlanta and America that this man used the vehicle and the policeman clothes was caught up in the door. So the only way for him to save his life was to stop the aggressor from continuing the action, and thus by saving his life and possibly save others. So I wanted to continue to listen.
Simon's shirt got caught in the door and he fired to stop the threat.
We're now looking forward to going to trial to show a jury that this young man that's deceased was the aggressor.
Griffin's father.
Yes, we want people to take off their blinkers and think. Don't think of yourself as being black or white. Just think as a person, as a human being. Imagine somebody steal the vehicle that you are driving. We're not talking about government vehicle as the police car, and you're trying to retrieve the vehicle from the person, and the person close the door with your shirt caught up in it, and and the vehicle is dragging you. Have you ever seen how many times on the news where people get caught in situation like that and loses their life? Think of what was going through that policeman's mind. We're not talking about is you or the you of the attacker. We're talking about as human being rational. What would you do? Because there was nothing else that he could do. The policeman must tear off his shirt. Maybe by the time him tear off, the car, the back wheel run over him and kill him. It's one life we have, and we have to be reasonable as human beings. We continue the journey.
Father says he really misses his son.
We all grieving and we all happy right now.
And Simons, who was off duty, now faces felony murder.
It is so sad though that where was the father? Because if the father was involved in this boy's life, this boy, he would let the boy know that you do not take people's property. You don't take what is not yours. By doing that, you're committing a crime. Because all of us growing up, we were imparted with certain culture as a part of socialization growing up. We know that not to take people's property. People's property is not ours, so you don't take it. So now he's coming out like this boy was an angel, in which he, as the father and the mother, they did not impart good values to this boy because they're gonna make excuse for him, and blame the police as usual. They don't take responsibility for their actions. So I want you to continue to listen to show you how the black mind is being destroyed by the same black people because they do not want to teach their children between wrong and right.
Car killing Griffin. The family's attorney says the shots were excessive.
This was a young man suspected of a property crime. He was unarmed and he was shot in the back.
Patterson says Simon's shirt got caught in the door and he fired to stop the threat.
We're now looking forward to going to trial to show a jury that this young man that's deceased was the aggressor.
Griffin's father says he really misses his son.
We all grieving and we all happy right now.
And Simons, who was off duty, now faces felony murder, aggravated assault, and 2 counts of violation of oath. APD says in addition to him being suspended without pay, an emergency hearing will be held to determine his job status. We're live in downtown Atlanta. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
So these are the things why police officers are quitting the police force because they see the urban decay that is really occurring in Atlanta and other jurisdictions. And the police are fleeing with their families and they are fleeing with their careers because look at what happened with this police officer. He was attacked, injured, and he is the bad guy. When the person who tried to kill them and he had to defend himself, this police officer is now facing an indictment of murder. But you see, people like Dr. Omar Johnson is not the person that the black community looks up to, because this is a man who have the philosophy of Marcus Garvey, who believe in black mind to preserve the black mind. Black men, black women must be proud of who they are. Black people must not try to be something that they are not. He believes in telling black children and black men and black women and black boys when they are wrong, and when they are right. He is not spinning anything to them to make them feel comfortable or massage their ego and lie to them. But it's black men like him is being demonized by the elites because the elites have an agenda. Destroy, and conquer. So once you destroy their mind, you conquer them. So the same black boys that we're talking about, they are being oppressed. Everything that they're doing, is going right into the hands of the oppressor. Because who control the prisons? Who control the jails? Who control the morgues? It's the same people that they're talking about oppressing them. But you have people who egg them on and let them feel like whenever they're wrong, they're right. And when they are right, they're double right. So they are never wrong. And you hear, you listen to what this young boy, mother, was saying about her son, that he was, the only thing left for him was to get a knighthood or an angelic halo over his head. When this boy was problem This man was problem. He tried to kill a police officer who had to defend himself. And now the policeman is indicted for murder. And he's about to possibly lose his job, or they're going to try to get rid of him for what? For protecting himself. And you know, Atlanta is a liberal community, is a liberal town. So you know anything goes there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, this is the time to subscribe. Have yourself a beautiful day. One love. Peace.